All right. Welcome to the very first live video of After 5 at Jumix. And tonight is a little bit special because we are actually doing this live instead of our usual pre-recorded podcast, which you can listen on our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and some other channels, right? So as usual, I'm your host for tonight. My name is Sanz, together with my partner here, Deanna. Hi, Deanna. Yeah, so because please share this live video to your friends, and I'll be handling, the sharing to groups and so on. So I'll leave the introduction to Deanna. So Deanna, please take the stage.
Hello and welcome back to this. It's not welcome back actually, it's welcome to our very new kind of episode, a live stream episode of After 5 at Jumix. Usually you should know that our listeners should know that we usually do podcasting, but due to MCO and COVID-19, we have also have to adapt to the new normal of how we should be coming on live more often to reach to more people out there, especially you guys are on your phone and on your on your screens more often nowadays. So today we are very, very delighted to have a special guest with us. Is I actually found out about IAPWA Penang from adopting a puppy early this year. So if you guys don't know that, I was very, very happy after asking my family a lot of times, can I please adopt a puppy? And finally, my dad said yes. The next day, I went to Occupy Bay Street and went for IAPWA Penang, and I finally got a puppy because actually we used to have a dog of 11 years and sadly he passed away, and then we had to get over his passing for a while before we could accept a new puppy to our home. So finally we did it, and it was the best decision ever. And to know that how IAPWA Penang, what they do behind supporting all these puppies and supporting, the Penang MBPP Council to stop killing strays is something that I think is very, it's something that is not easy that you can find someone to do this. And especially this NGO, they are NGO doing this behind the scenes. I really, really wanted to help them, support their cause and want to know more about them, and hopefully for more people to support their cause as well. So, of course, today this is a live show, and like in the new normal or before the new normal, when you come on a show, you have to applause as loud as possible before the guest comes in. So it's almost the same. We're going to do it this way because we really, really hope that you watching this could share this to your friends, your family, anyone who loves pets and want to support IAPWA Penang as well. Okay, so share this to your friends, and when we reach a certain number that is going to help IAPWA Penang, of course, with whatever that we're sharing tonight, then we will officially introduce our guest, Ms Choong, the founder of IAPWA Penang. So before that, I hope everyone has had their dinner, very comfortable on their couches or anything to listen to how this passionate team, IAPWA Penang, actually manages an NGO, helping the strays around Penang Island. And what's amazing is that just recently I saw that they achieved 1,600, strays being saved by IAPWA Penang. I was just imagining to myself, if I lived, if my row of houses, everyone had a dog, that is only like maybe 30 or 40, but 1,600, can you imagine the amount of dogs?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Being helped? Yeah. And I think they achieved this within 2 years. Okay, another thing is maybe you are not familiar with IAPWA Penang. IAPWA is actually an acronym for Independent Aid for Protection and Welfare of Animals. So for IAPWA Penang, they are NGO in Penang that helps strays, and also they are formed to implement the TNR project with Penang Council MBPP. So TNR actually stands for Trap-Neuter-Release or rehome. So this may sound very new to you, but don't worry, we have the professional coming on to our show later to tell you more about what is the TNR project. Okay, so I think, Sanz, what are we having right now?
So we have about 29 live viewers right now. So I think once we hit 30, we just hit 30 viewers right now. So are you guys excited to invite our guest for tonight. Are you excited, Deanna?
Leave a comment. Yes, of course. I've been like talking to Ms Choong for a while, like during our rehearsals, and she's just a very, very passionate lady. Running this NGO, IAPWA Penang. It's amazing to see how she do everything, manage the team, and also even dedicated her life to this
woman
IAPWA
power.
Penang. Yeah, women empowerment for sure.
So please, guys, please share this video to your friends, to your family, to any group that you have already joined, okay? So without further ado, I think let's welcome our guest tonight, Ms Choong.
All right, so I'm going to do a brief introduction about Ms Choong. Hi, Ms Choong. So Ms Choong is the founder of IAPWA Penang and a strong advocate for Trap-Neuter-Release or rehome effort to humanely and effectively control stray population on the Penang Island. So since March of 2018, Ms Choong left her full-time senior lecturer position of 19 years. That's like a career of, a very fulfilling career there, to fully dedicate her life, her time and effort to implement the TNR project in Penang Island. So the accounting graduate and holder of the professional masters in finance leads IAPWA Penang to partner with Penang Island City Council, or more commonly known as MBPP, to end the killing of strays in the island, replacing it by more effective and humane stray management. So thank you so much, Ms. Choong, for sparing some time to discuss about what are you doing and what is IAPWA about today.
Thank you
tonight.
for joining us tonight, Ms. Choong.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I can hear your puppies behind applauding as well.
Yeah, additional audio effect.
Yeah, we have more audiences there.
Yeah. Okay. So, you want me to talk about a bit about my background or myself? Why I left my job.
Exactly. Like, how did you even, just leave your job of 19 years to do this?
Well, when we have this opportunity to actually get the government on our side to actually carry out this TNR to end the killing of strays, and we realized that it has to be a full-time basis to implement this project. And this is like a dream come true. Like, I never thought that in my lifetime I will ever have a chance to see no kill in Penang Island itself. And when this opportunity presents, right in front of my face, was like, well, it took me some time to think, but in the end, I said that, it's like better to do something than end up regret, on my deathbed. I would be like regret what if I've done it. So in the end, I just jump into it, so that I don't live a regret life.
Yeah, it's a very tough decision, I can imagine. And for you to be able to have this opportunity, did you have like prior experience in this industry?
Through volunteering, before I started IAPWA Penang, I was volunteering for a few shelters and helping here and there, and that's where I found that is my passion, to do something for the animals. So it wasn't very difficult decision actually, because when we see all the sufferings on the streets and the injustice towards all these animals, then we need someone to be there for them. Yeah.
Could you please let us know how this opportunity came to you? Like, for example, did you just went to the Penang Council and tell them, hey, you can do this, and that, you have experience in TNR and you want to do this for Penang, or was it like they came for you to implement this?
Actually, the credit should goes to the council, who is actually far-sighted and progressive, and they were looking at ways to actually solve the stray population, overpopulation issues. And they know that they've been doing that killings for all the years, and it doesn't really solve the problem. So they were looking at alternative ways, and they knew that from research papers shown that TNR scientifically has proven that is a better way to manage strays. Those areas that have been managed using Trap-Neuter-Release method, that is positive impact on that, and they were quite keen to do this. That's why they approached IAPWA Penang, IAPWA in UK, international based organization, and that's where IAPWA UK actually then approached me to actually implement this project in Penang.
I see. So at first it was, I remember like years ago when the killing was still around, when the council
Yeah.
did kill strays,
Mm,
and there are
mm,
a lot of petitions and all that. So I'm very, very glad to know that, the government do hear, like especially the Penang Council, do hear our voice and actually take action in
yes.
this case. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like to give an affirmation that whatever that we've been posting on social media actually works. So sometimes
Yeah.
voicing out is really important, especially for this case. So continuing
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
what is IAPWA Penang about? Like you said, it's a UK based NGO. How did it actually came to Penang?
Okay, so it was again, like you said, due to the killing. Where in the year 2015, there was a mass killing of stray dogs in a few states due to
Yes.
some rabies cases.
Mm,
So there was a huge outcry, like you said, and a lot of objection and petition and even demonstration here and there. So one of the animal advocates actually was my friend in another society. We were that time helping out the animals, but in another NGO, and we actually proposed this IAPWA to the council actually, because we found that IAPWA UK actually has a project in Sabah itself to do this also TNR in Kota Kinabalu.
I
So
see.
we actually, my friend actually proposed this to UK. Sorry, proposed this to MBPP,
Mm,
and actually MBPP then actually make an engagement with the society,
Mm.
and that's how it proceeded from there. And it took some time to discuss on the MOU. So MPPP was presented with this IAPWA in 2016, but after negotiation, it carries on until 2017, where the MOU was then awarded finally.
Mm.
So is this like a two-man show in the first, founding of the NGO? Like I can understand you and your friend, but is it like only you and your
Mm.
friend behind this whole project at first, or there was a team of people?
Um, no, that was during that outbreak, that outcry. There was a lot of animal NGOs and advocates and rescuers that actually band together to try to stop the unnecessary killing, and to tell the government to start rabies vaccination and stop the killing.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
so
see.
it was actually, like you said, it's the voice of the people, and the
Mm,
council was listening to it. Yeah,
that's
Mm.
good. That's
I think
great.
I think back
yeah.
then MBPP has like a very bad reputation because of the
Yeah,
public opinions. But you guys actually help to save this, bad, convert it from bad to something good. I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, yeah. We can see for the past 2 years, I don't think you can hear of any complaints regarding
Yeah.
MBPP mishandling the strays.
that's
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
right. That's right. That's amazing job. So in terms of like who consists in this team of IAPWA Penang right
Okay, so
now?
IAPWA Penang is actually officially registered. So, like all societies, we need to have a minimum of 7 committee members that actually oversight the society. Major decisions are made with the help of, with the approval of committees. So we have 7 committee members, like like president, vice president, treasurer, and so on.
Mm.
So this group of people, they are very passionate animal lovers, and we are very grateful that they actually join us. And we have from various background. From, like myself, is a finance accounting background, but we have also
Mm.
auditor, senior accountant, we have lawyer, we have a medical doctor, we have business woman director. So each one have our own strength, which we
Yeah.
draw together to actually run the society in a more professional way. And we have our own network. So that's very
Mm.
important for a committee to actually oversee the overall. But on day-to-day basis, we have another team where we have to carry out our activities every day. So we have to hire staff, because we have to do it every day. So we cannot depend on volunteer to come in.
Mm.
Our duties is every day, Monday to basically we need to be there 24/7 actually. So we have 2 full-timers. Then we have a night caretaker. Then we have 3 part-timers that come in when in need. And these people are all very passionate about helping the dogs. Yeah.
So like currently they stay in the office or where you all are based for the full timers?
Basically, we have to have someone here 24 hours. So the full-timer will come in during the office hours. So after they leave, we have our night caretaker come in to take over to just take care of the dogs at night. Yeah, we cannot leave them alone. So yeah, we need someone to check on their safety, and if at any emergency, then they will call me, that kind of thing.
That's good. Like we are very happy and glad to know that there are people who are doing this. It's not easy to find people like that. Yeah. So carrying on, like as you know, every business have their mission and vision. What is your mission for IAPWA Penang?
Yeah, so like IAPWA Penang was actually purposely formed to actually implement this Trap-Neuter-Release project for IAPWA UK. And we have the partnership with the MBPP. So our mission is to actually carry out the Trap-Neuter-Release project together with MBPP to actually humanely manage the stray population in Penang through the TNR method.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do not know what is TNR about, although we have been saying like TNR. So I think it's better that we go into like what really is TNR, you know, and what are the benefits of TNR.
Yeah. So Trap-Neuter-Release actually, like I say, is a scientifically proven method. What we are doing here is actually very scientific based with statistic and data to actually support it. So Trap-Neuter-Release is a concept where we have to neuter up to at least 75 or 80% of a stray population. And it has been shown scientifically, those areas that adopt this and they achieve this 75 to 80% stray population, being neutered, sterilized, then they'll find that initially the stray population in that area will initially start to stabilize. We have to release this dog back to the area. So of course you cannot see immediate reduction in the strays there. Okay, but then as the dog live their natural life on in that particular area over a few years later, then you may see a reduction in the stray population in that area. Because once we sterilize them, we neuter them, they don't breed and they don't increase the population. So TNR works in a way that we have to release the dog back to a particular area because dogs, they are territorial. So, you know, in the past, why killing doesn't work, or removing the dogs to shelter doesn't work is because we then have vacuum, where we have vacuum created where we have resources available, people who continue to feed, they will provide resources like water, shelter, food, and it will attract new dogs to come into the area. And these new dogs wasn't spayed, you know, then they will breed again, you know. Then you remove some, then they will continue to breed, and then if you empty the place with resources, new dog will come again, you know, to consume the resources. Yeah, so as long as they have put their resources, you will attract strays to the area. So if you keep removing and keep killing them, it is endless cycle. So Trap-Neuter-Release is we take them, neuter them, we put them back into the same place. So they consume the resources that is provided by people, you know, or in that area. So new strays won't come in because they are territorial. So these existing strays that we have already spayed, neutered, they will just live their natural life in that area. And if we repeat this spaying and neutering in the whole island, you know, in every possible, areas that we can find in the whole island. Yeah, you can then see initially the stray population will stabilize, and then over a period of time, as they live out their natural life, it will then reduce.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
This, you know, this big mission here. Is there like a percentage?
Okay, so like I said, we do things very systematically and scientifically. So actually, we did a survey last August where we have the support from the UK. They sent professionals to help us to do a survey, and I went out to do a survey with them. Within 2 weeks, actually, we drove around more than 1,000 kilometers in Penang Island itself to do survey of dogs population. So we leave the house very early, 5 o'clock in the morning. Do a survey in the early morning and late at night. That's where you can see more dogs actively, free roaming dogs out.
Yeah.
So we did a survey and we estimated the whole Penang Island, we have about 10,000 stray dogs. Free roaming dogs. We say free roaming. It's not exactly straight. Yeah, we estimated there are 10,000.
How, like, did you bring a clicker or something?
We have apps. So when we go around, we will then try to spot dogs. Then we try to see whether they are male, they are female, and those whether they have ear notch that maybe is already spayed by us. neutered by us, we have the double ear notch. So we try to see, and then we see are there puppies. If any dogs or puppies below 4 months, then we categorize them as puppy. Then from the survey, we also do look at the body condition of the dogs. We rate them from 1 to 5. 1 is very severely emaciated, Then 2, you can see some rib bone. 3 is the ideal one. 4 is a little obese. 5 is the very obese. And it's not surprising that actually our strays in Penang Island that we see in the survey mostly falls into 3 and 4.
Oh, so they are
well taken care.
Yeah.
Yes, they are very well taken care by. Well, maybe Penang has a lot of kind people, a lot of feeders, stray feeders. These are really unsung heroes. They really take good care of these stray dogs. It's just that they don't have the home to bring them. Or space to bring them home. But they really care for all these street dogs, and they give treatment to them. They feed them rain or shine, And we are working with quite a number of these feeders also. So even when the dogs has injury or sickness, they will treat them, and some of them most of them use their own personal money. They've been very unselfish. So our stray dog population, you can see our stray dogs are very healthy. When it's very healthy, they will breed even more. So we then need to do TNR. Then if we continue to kill or remove them away, there are these kind people who continue to give resources, and new dogs will still come, so it doesn't solve the problem. So to solve the problem, we neuter and put them back, and then let these kind of people continue to feed them, take care of them on the streets, and let them live the natural life. But importantly, we want to replicate this to the whole Penang Island, and we then can see the impact. So we actually so far done 1,600 strays, 1,600. But we still feel it's not fast enough, because actually the facilities, even though we started in 1st of March 2018, but we started in a very small scale first. We waited for the council to extend their pound for us, and where now we are operating out from the council, where it's extended to 60 kennels. But the place was only fully operational last August, so it was like not even 1 year yet when we moved to this place to extend our project. So when we got the place and we extended our number of neuterings last year, August to December, and to January and February, we managed to do quite a lot during that period of time. And then because of NCO, we reduced again the number, because it was not so easy to go out and catch dog during that time. We are not allowed to go out and catch dog that time. Yeah,
not allowed.
But we still
right now
during MCO that time. Right now, actually, now we sort of back to normal, but we of course have to operate in a way that we also have social distancing. So we are not full force yet. We still take turn to come back, and but all this while during MCO, we still do neutering, because majority of our dogs comes from the council. Council continue to catch the dogs. Yeah, but during MCO, they still catch, but is that they reduce their catching too, because they need some manpower in other areas. So it has been ongoing, just that it slowed down during MCO.
I can imagine like during MCO, when everyone is at home and the strays are out there, I'm sure they have more freedom to even, migrate to places. And I think it's going to worsen this, isn't it?
During MCO, we heard of a lot of hungry strays, because a lot of shops were closed. The regular feeders cannot reach to them.
Exactly.
They cannot feed the strays, and there were a lot of hungry strays around. But again, we are very thankful to the council, because during the NCO that time, they actually, through IAPWA recommendation, they give us 15 letters to big regular feeders, to actually allow them to actually go around to feed the strays in a particular area identified in the letter 2 hours a day. So actually, these dogs will actually help. And the council, with the approval of the council to do this, I think it's very humane and understanding of them.
That's
very so that this feeder doesn't have to feed. They don't have to worry about being caught and all this, with the approval of the letter.
That's good. Like, if any feeders are listening right now, thank you so much for doing this, for feeding our strays. And also, like, I do know that from my adoption with a puppy early this year, that IAPWA Penang does subsidize a fee for me to neuter my dog. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
so
how?
actually, like we understand, we want to do the TNR. Like I said earlier, we need to release the dog back to location. But there are some dogs that, due to being puppies, when they are caught, it's too young. We cannot just neuter and then release them back. It's too young to neuter. By the time we keep them to adult and we neuter and we throw them back, it's not right. It's not right. They cannot survive on their home. That's on their own. So that's why we also encourage animal lovers to adopt from us, and we want to promote responsible pet ownership also. So we need to encourage people to neuter and spay their dogs, whether it's a male or female. We encourage them to do that, and it's as you sign the agreement, the form,
Yeah.
you agree to actually neuter. Yeah, so to encourage that, because one of the things we found that a lot of people don't want to neuter is, one thing is the cost is prohibitive to some, and also maybe they don't know the way, the traditional way of keeping pets, and they don't even go to the vets and all this. So they don't know that you have to go to a vet or which vet to go to neuter and all this, and the inconvenience. And they don't know, like, after you spay, neuter, how long they have to take care and all this. So we want to encourage our adopters to actually adopt from us, and also to have responsible pet ownership. So we encourage them to bring the puppies back to us to neuter when they are matured. Yeah, so we subsidize as a way to encourage people to do so.
How old is matured?
But it's
by
only
the way?
generally for pets. I mean, for strays, our vets here, in the private vets, they will neuter them when they are above 4 months old.
I see.
But
Okay.
for household pets, maybe we recommend maybe 6 months. When they are to time, they can start to get on hit. Then yeah, we look at sometimes we look at the teeth. They change. Then we encourage them to come in and bring in to neuter through us. But we still send to a private vets. We still send a private vets. We don't have our own vet. So, but we then subsidize our adopters to do so.
That's it's a very good initiative. I think personally, when I heard of that, I was like in a shock that how you guys have to look for fundings to get dogs to go to neuter, and then you guys do subsidies, and then you have to take care of the dogs. I think there's a lot of responsibility there, right? So in terms of like starting an NGO, like we have to go back to starting an NGO, because this is a topic that Sanz is quite interested in because he's in business, and he has been asking me like, I don't know how NGO how to start one. So I think Sanz could
because like us in Jumix, we are like a private company, so it's our objective is, of course, ultimately we want to be profitable. But for NGO, I think being profitable is not the primary objective. I know most of the time you guys maybe are not profitable, so I'm very curious, like, how you guys to be able to self-sustain, like how do you get funding, how do you manage the people, how do you get the daily operation going?
Well, to me, actually for NGO, first of all, importantly is we must be able to sell the cost to people, to tell them why is it worthwhile to support our cause. Promotion, and explain to people why it is worthwhile, why is it worthwhile for them to put money into our cause. That's one thing. But besides being why, they must also have confidence as the money that they actually donated to us is well used. So we need to manage the funds in an effective way, economical way, efficiently, to make sure that this hard-earned money from these donors are really maximized in our effort. We must give people this kind of confidence to get the support from donors and supporters. So it's very important to run an NGO, to me, run it professionally. We cannot view this as we're running a shelter or anything like that. We have to view it as we're running a society that runs a project. And I always tell my team that we should actually treat it as we run like a public listed company. In terms of transparency, accountability, we have to do it in a way. We cannot treat it as running a sole proprietorship mentality. where one person decide on something. There's no internal control, there's no sustainability, there's no continuity. So we need to build the society. We are actually running a society that actually must have the confidence of the public that we are doing the right thing, the right way. And that's where then public can see the outcome, and that's where we have the support from people to in the fundraiser and all kind of thing. So it's very important to run it well.
I see.
Sound like you had a lot of experience running an NGO, but actually IAPWA Penang has only been running for 2 years, 2.5, maybe 2 or more years. So did you like go through any courses or crash course, or did you get a mentor to run this? I mean, it's something very not easy.
No, there's no. I don't think there's any course in here that to teach you how to run an NGO or even start an NGO or register an NGO. So it's all through trial and error, through experience. Because in the past, like say before I started IAPWA Penang, I was helping some other NGOs and some other shelters. But I feel that the management could actually be improved more professionally. So that's why I went in and I tried to learn more. I read up, in the information age, it's very easy to get information as to actually what you must comply with, how do you run a society. Everything is there in the website. So it's a matter of whether you have the heart to do it. So, and learn and talk to people, networking, and then read and then just do it. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
I think same goes to even like private businesses or even any business at all. Like all these are very good tips to run any business or even for an NGO. So like we understand that IAPWA Penang actually work very closely with MBPP, but is their support sufficient so far from what they are doing? Of course, you've been saying a lot, but in terms of running the business, do they give you any support at all?
No. At council is only under the MOU. They only provide us with the building that is their dog pound, which is already very good because they give us the space in this partnership, so that the dogs that they caught by them are put in the pound for 3 days, and after 3 days, if nobody claim, then it officially belongs to the council, which then we can take over to send them for neutering and spaying. So all these are done in the council's premise, which is the Pusat Kawanan Anjing Liar and Terbiak MBPP. So that's what they provide. So of course, comes with the building is of course they pay for electricity and water because council building, and we are very grateful for having this facility already. But the rest of the costs will be borne by us in terms of running the place. Like even our caretaker, dog food, and everything, we have to pay for it.
Understand. So when it comes to like running an NGO, I believe just now you said you do not run a shelter. Is this a major misconception when it comes to IAPWA Penang?
Yeah, when a lot of people talk about animal welfare NGOs, society, straight away they think that all animal welfare or NGOs has a shelter to run, and they assume that they can just bring in dogs or cats, from the strays or do rescues. And sometimes we even receive requests as far as from Perak, ask us to rescue dogs from there to bring to our place. But it is not our place. We don't have our own shelter. So like we said, we are actually partnering the council and working out from council's premise. So the purpose of this partnership is to actually neuter and release or rehome the dog. So the place we have is just temporary while the dog are recuperating, rehabilitating before we release or we rehome. So it's not for us to keep the dog here forever. So there's a misconception. Some think that we run a shelter, they want to surrender their unwanted pets to us and all this. We can't do that. We don't run a shelter. Yeah, so there's the misconception. And some ask us to bring in cats, neuter cats. We also don't do that because currently we focus on dogs in the MOU.
Okay.
Understand. So quick question, if we really see some strays who are badly injured, who should we call?
There are actually some NGOs that actually do rescues. They have shelters. They do their rescues, and some people who have they do report to them. But we have to understand that these NGOs also they have limited resources and manpower, so they may not be able to also rescue all the strays.
Understand. So whenever when we are driving on the road or anything, then if we really see an injured puppy, other than taking them to the vet, are those like NGOs the place to go for this, injured strays?
We have cases of people actually referring, injured dogs or abandoned dogs that need help. So what we do is we do provide them with guidance as to we tell them, okay, you can bring to the vets, and then we tell them how you can reach out to the public. There are people who selflessly actually do the rescue, but they don't have the funding themselves. So we refer them to like what Facebook that they can post to try to raise funds, but we teach them that they have to do it transparently, do it correctly, that kind of way to be accountable for their action. So we guide them in certain ways. Sometimes they need rescues, but they don't have the resources or they don't know who to do rescues. We can actually advise them to who they can contact. There are some private rescuers that you can approach them for their service.
From my understanding right now, IAPWA Penang actually only covers Penang Island for the meantime. Like, is there a reason why it's only covered in Penang Island?
Okay, so the MOU is with only our MBPP, Penang Island City Council. So we have the different jurisdiction. So Penang itself has two council, the MBPP and MBSP. So like we said, we are using the MBPP's facility, their dog pound. So it's different jurisdiction. We cannot expand to the mainland. It's a different budget, different resources. And the MOU is only in Penang and Island. And why is it for island? Because the government feels that probably as an island, higher chances of showing results, success for this TNR in the years to come. And we have to understand that we cannot see the results in 2 or 3 years, because if we can see the result in 2 or 3 years, then I think whole world will have no stray issues anymore. It needs time to solve.
Okay. So, in terms of like getting fundings and all that, especially during MCO, what are your struggles? Just running IAPWA Penang.
So normally before MCO, we have different various ways to raise funds. We actually raise funds from online direct appeal. We sell merchandise through events and online. We actually have donation boxes in some areas. Then every Sunday, like you adopted a puppy from us in OBS, we actually have a donation drive, adoption drive, merchandise sales. But these activities doesn't really give us enough funds to actually sustain the whole project. So we have to do major activities like 3 or 4 times a year. That through these major activities, we can raise sufficient funds to last us for a few months. So like we have our annual food fair, used to be like in November, we had it twice. That was very helpful where we raised sufficient funds to last us like 3 to 4 months. But unfortunately this year we have 3 major events that was supposed to be planned to carry out to help us to sustain for the next year. We have to cancel. One was we planned a run of 5-kilometer run with targeted 1,000 participants to raise funds, and that was planned June, July, but we have to cancel. And then we have another one for amazing race, where we already booked straight ski in September, where owner and their dogs can participate in events, which also supposed to be a fundraiser. Also we have to cancel. And then our annual food fair in November obviously has to be cancelled. So these 3 major events has been cancelled due to the pandemic. So that's why it's more challenging now. So we are trying to adopt to a new normal. So we are trying to do fundraising online and stuff like that.
So in terms of doing fundraising online, all that, you guys still have to stay transparent. So is there any struggles, behind staying transparent that way?
No, there's no issues. As we mentioned just now, we have professionals in the committee, so we understand very well internal controls, the need for audit trails, proper capturing of transaction, everything. So whether we raise funds online or offline or in events, we have our own standard of control. Like for example, every donation we have to issue receipt. There are donors who tell me, "Never mind, don't want." But I said, "You don't want, we also need to issue because it's important to have serial number in our accounting and recording purposes, audit trail, everything." So I say, if you don't want, also we have to issue. So some say, okay, you just issue that, we just don't send to them. And we have our own internal control, like donation boxes. We cannot just open like that. We need to have 2 two members at least to witness, one to count, one to confirm, to sign, that kind of thing. Then when it comes to payment, again, we understand, because I say from accounting and finance background, we know that we have to have supporting documents. Without bills, without invoices, without supporting documents, receipt, all this, we cannot issue or make payment. Yeah, so our accounts are audited, fully audited, externally audited. In fact, we just done our second year account, which I just got it stamped and in way of commissioner oath. I have to go and swear that this is true and fair. Yeah. So is everything done in a professional way? Like I said, we have to manage our society just like a public listed company, high level of standard and professionalism.
Right now that I'm listening to all your responsibilities, I'm like thinking, what should I do a day? I have to take care of my dogs. I have to, reply to my messages. I have to, run the company. I mean the committee, the society. I have to talk to my team members. There are so many things to do, and also so many things to think about. I think I think as a struggle to get funds and also volunteers, I think, and you have to even look for like full-time people to take care of the dogs that you have with you right now. Okay, so in terms of that, did the digital age help you in any way to ease your responsibility problems?
You mean the digital? Yeah, yes, definitely. We
like looking
have
for
to
maybe full-timers online or adopters.
Yes, definitely. The Facebook especially helps us a lot, the social media. So to reach out to people, to supporters, to adopters, to donors, we use the Facebook a lot. It's very, very useful, very effective.
For me myself, I also found out about IAPWA Penang through Facebook from your like active postings and all that. Like I remember there was one post before when you guys were like posting dogs holding a branch and then calling them branch managers. Like I still can still remember that post so vividly. Yeah. So I think other than like having Facebook, are there any plans of expansions into like digital space?
So recently we started to be a little bit more active in Instagram, and like we have been talking to y'all guys. Y'all been like trying to help us to do the one-click donation kind of thing, which is which we hope to engage in the future, which probably is very important because with e-wallet, all this, we want to make it easier for people to reach out to donate to support our cause. So definitely we have to use a lot of digital social media in our NGOs. You cannot run away from this, whether it's business or NGO. We need to make a change, especially in the new normal. We cannot go back to the old ways.
Exactly. But was it hard for you to cope with, going from a more offline business to online, to put everything online?
Actually, we have been like relying a lot on social media like Facebook since the inception, since the start of IAPWA Penang. We have been using it, so it's not so difficult in that way. And just that, like I said, the major fundraiser, and we are actually quite, I would say, quite grateful to a group of volunteers that are actually helping us now to actually create online events, online fundraiser. They are very enthusiastic and very passionate group of volunteers that are running some events for us. So we need to test out and focus on this and see whether it works or not.
I guess it's also because of social media. You get to connect with this passionate bunch of digital nomads or people that are on digital space more often to be able to run, help you guys on, easing the process of going online. Because as you said, you have already so much to do and you still have to do so many things and learn so many things. I'm sure it's going to be a struggle. But for all the struggles you do, of course, we are hoping that today this live stream itself or even this whole podcast will be recorded and also posted on YouTube, Spotify and all that. Do help your cause and IAPWA Penang. But with all the struggles put aside, we have to come back to the point that I think a lot of listeners here today are eager to listen to. We would like to know, on your experience being with IAPWA, are there any adoption stories that you would like to share? Like inspiring, and it's always close to your heart. That keeps you, keeps you going to what you're doing right now for IAPWA Penang.
Actually, we have rehomed quite a lot of dogs. Like we have TNR 1,600 dogs above that. And out of that we rehomed 350 dogs and puppies, mostly puppies, around 280 puppies, and every one of them are really very special to us. Every one of them, and but of course there are some that are probably more vivid in my mind, in my head. I have one case of it was like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, there was this puppy. She was about 3 months old. That was caught by a counselor and came to our hands. And we found an adopter, but unfortunately, we discovered that the puppy was sick. It had a kind of virus, and we actually treated the puppy. But after treatment, it has to be under quarantine for at least 1 month. But because we don't have a facility, we cannot quarantine the pup in the dog pound, because it's not right. It may cause the diseases to spread to other dogs. So we have to find help temporary. So there was this private shelter that actually offered to help us to take care of the dogs for 1 month, because they have the expertise in that. So they helped, and they did their part. They helped and foster for 1 month past the quarantine period. But unfortunately, after that, the adopter changed his mind, and he actually bought a German Shepherd and said he doesn't want the dog anymore. So then we had problem. We couldn't release the dog back to the streets, and in the end, this private shelter was very kind and wanted to just keep the dog. But I couldn't shake that image out from my head, because I saw the photos of the dogs just being transferred into a cage, and I told myself I cannot I cannot save this dog and let her spend the rest of the life in a cage, in a jail. So then I worked very hard to promote the adoption of this dog, and in the end we actually found a adopter for this dog, and it was like 2 years ago, and she's having a very good life now. So this is something.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. In terms of like we do see like mostly strays are mongrels. Like, is there an issue when people say that they don't want to adopt mongrels because they want to go for like the story that you shared, they rather go for a German Shepherd or something that is more pedigree based dogs?
Yeah, we have actually quite a number of people that wrote to us, and they want especially small breed. And then we have small breed are usually pedigrees, you can see. And there are people who actually adopted a mixed breed from us and took home, and the son was very upset with the parent for taking home the mixed breed pup when he wanted to buy a Labrador. And after 2 days, we have to take the dog back, when we know that if the dog is unwelcome in the house, it won't have a good life too. And finally, in the end, we rehome to a much better family for the dog. Yeah, there are still people who somehow want breeded, but we can take to heart that for the past 2 years, we can see more and more people are actually stepping up to adopt, and they don't mind adopting mongrel mixed breed. And actually, quite a number that came to us and say they actually appreciate mongrel mixed breed better, because they tend to be healthier, easier to take care. So we can see a change of mindset. Education is very important, awareness is very important, and we are seeing more and more. And there are people who actually just come and adopt a puppy recently that had a very bad scar on her back. There were 5 of the puppies, and one of it was quite injured when they came to our hand, and we healed her, but the scar grew very long. As she grew bigger, the scar also grew longer. And from the 5, we thought that the one with scar one is the hardest to be rehomed. But we had this very, very amazing adopter that came and see that the puppy has this scar, and think that also unlikely other people will choose this pup. And she actually chosen this pup and said she wanted to take home and help this puppy. So it's also so there are a lot of very touching stories that we come across. We have more people that support mongrels and than those who want pedigree from our point of view. But there are, of course, people who wanted to buy. Yeah.
But I would like to ask if there's a lot of mixed breeds and it's very hard for you to find strays who are pedigrees. But do you go against people buying dogs?
Some people say they have the right to choose the breed that they want. They have the right to buy, but we would encourage people to adopt the pets because, I mean, to me, they are basically same. They are as intelligent. It might be even more intelligent than some pedigree. But I do understand that there are some people due to constraints in their house, small apartment, small unit, where they want the companion of animals, they want a companion of a dog, but they cannot bring in a medium-sized mongrel and all this, so they have their rights, but they have to, try to, we should always try to encourage adoption, because if they want even small breed, there are actually many shelters that rescue abandoned small breed dogs. And they should actually approach all these shelters to actually adopt these abandoned small breed dogs rather than to buy.
Yeah, understand. Like I can definitely, say that mixed breed are still very, very smart. Like for you guys who have been listening, I adopted a puppy from IAPWA Penang, and she is so smart. Like during the first or second week that she came, we have been trying to train her and all that. She listens to all the commands very well, even until today, although she's a bit more spoiled by our love and attention from the MCO that we have. Like everyday MCO, we just have to speak to our dog, and she's always there to welcome you and always there to be happy to see you. And when there's an extension of MCO, I think the happiest among all is my dog, because everyone is at home nowadays. So for a lot of people that are going through MCO, I would highly suggest you to adopt, because a dog being your companion at home, it is just a very different kind of house and a different kind of home that you're going home to. Especially if, for myself, the reason why I actually adopted a dog, one reason is because I work quite a lot and then I don't want to go home sometimes. So I got a dog so that it forces me to go home and understand that a dog is waiting for me at home. So it changes the whole environment at home. And my mom and dad loves Mocha, my dog, and they are so entertained by her. I think it's one of the few things that most people who are still trying to make their mind to adopt should really go and try and adopt from IAPWA, especially, to support whatever that you're doing. So other than that, I think what are the most frequent kind of adoption reasons that you get? Like, why do they want to adopt? Is there any, like, because they have a kid at home, or they want a responsibility, or a companion? Is there anything that is most frequently heard?
But we got quite a number of adopters who had dogs that passed away. And I think because they have been having dogs for for so long in their life, when there is no more dogs, they feel incomplete. They need a furry companion, and we are very happy to rehome to such adopters. Yeah, because they really want them as a family.
Understand. Okay, I think
so in that sense that you guys actually also you evaluate the owners before you let them carry the pet home, right?
Yeah, we can ask Deanna. We actually ask questions before adoption.
To go through the interview process to make sure you are the right person to do.
We have to ask. Then we interview either through phone or WhatsApp or messages, and then those who come to our adoption drive. I mean, we can see how they interact with the puppies, their body language, and it's not that we rehome to everybody, because some people they came and then we can see how they handle the puppies in roughly. They just flick the pup and all this. Then they say, they really want, we will not give it to them. Even they say they like it, but you can see from their body language. So we will reject this kind of adopters. And we also require our doctor to agree to spay and neuter. So if they so in the agreement you can see. So there was a case where someone wanted 3 puppies to take care of his bungalow, and but he doesn't want it to be neutered, and we rejected him. Because we had to look at the welfare. What if they continue to breed, and then they causing more problems? So so we have certain criteria set.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you have
because I think there's a lot of first time, people who want to
exactly.
adopt a pet, then they just like go and try to adopt because it's free or it's something easy to do it. So, but they're not really committed to doing this. So I think you guys having the evaluation process and interview process is very important to make sure the welfare of the animals are well taken care of.
Yeah. We have some there are first timers. Then we will tell them the problem. I mean the challenges and the cost, especially puppies biting.
Get them prepared.
And so we make sure they really understand. But we have actually experience with a few first timers, but they turn out very good adopters. Very good
That's good.
adopters, even being first timer.
I see.
Okay. I think we have came to almost the end of the session, but are there any questions or any listeners out there would like to ask questions to Ms Choong? Please do leave them on the comments below so that Ms Choong can get back to you within this session, or else later on she might use IAPWA Penang's Facebook to reply to those questions.
Yep.
Yeah. So before we end, we have been sharing a lot on what IAPWA Penang is doing, what is Ms Choong doing, the team behind IAPWA Penang. But how do we actually? How can we support?
Okay, so like I said, we have one group of volunteers that are now running and trying to help us to raise funds online. So these people from Alpha Circuit Academy and Pro Media and a few individuals, they come together and I form a committee called Furry Hopes 2.0 to actually help us to raise funds. This committee was supposed to actually run the amazing event in September in Strisky, but we have to cancel the underground event. So they creatively came up with this online fundraising called Amazing Festival, which is a series of online fundraising activities that will be coming out. And we have the very first of the series activity, which is the Amazing Squad Challenge, which you can see in our Facebook and also the link that we will share to see how people respond to all this online event. And it will be good if more people participate to actually encourage us also and to make this a success so that we can continue to do more online fundraising. And besides this, of course, people can actually subscribe to, can buy our merchandise online if they want to.
For sure.
And presently we have a few two artists that are actually working and painting and sketching for us to raise funds. Then we also have like Pro Media, who is selling this steps to clean, where you step on it to a hands-free sanitizer, and they have kindly offered to donate 10 ringgit per unit for us. So there are various ways that there are people who approach us, and there's one more singing bowl where they use singing bowl to heal, and they want to donate 50% of their proceeds to us. So we welcome all kind of creative ways to help us to raise funds.
But in terms of, do you guys need like dog food donations or anything that we can help out with your daily operations?
We need rice. We use a lot of bleach to disinfect the area. We actually have to maintain the hygiene and the area, so we use a lot of this rice and bleach.
How about dog food? Is that necessary for?
Yeah, we have wet canned food that we do mix with the kibbles, to make it more palatable, especially some sick dog and some strays that they are actually not used to eating kibbles.
Yeah, I understand, because they're so used to eating normal human food.
Yeah. So sometimes they don't want to eat, also under stress and all this being caught. So we try to make it as palatable as possible for them. We try to cook, or if not, then we have wet canned food we mix in the kibbles for them. Because we join we joined taking care of the dogs in the dog pound with the council, and basically like this whole project actually change the stray landscape in Penang, and I'm actually very proud to say that actually Penang's council dog pound probably is one of the most humane in Malaysia, or probably one of the most humane in the world. So government dog pound,
Kudos for that.
and yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
we yeah.
something
So
a role model.
we try to we try to make this a model of success where council and government can work with NGOs to actually overcome the strays overpopulation issues.
Okay, so I guess other than whatever that you have mentioned just now, I'm sure that you guys also need funding. So right now, how can we donate to IAPWA Penang?
We have our online banking, our bank account. Yeah, we normally post in our Facebook. You can donate direct to that link. Maybe we can share later also.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe in future it will be more digitalized. Like we are still trying to come in as Jumix to come in as a partner to help digitalize the donations and all that. So I think, are there any questions, Sanz, for Ms Choong to answer right now?
Currently there's no questions, but I just received a lot of compliments from Ms Choong throughout the live video that Ms Choong has really done a great job. She's so lovely and so on. Yeah, so kudos to Ms Choong for your effort all these years.
Yeah, I think it's really not easy to do this. Yeah, I'm also looking at the comments right now. A lot of love for Ms Choong and whatever that she's doing with IAPWA Penang. I guess this is what also keeps you going every day, despite what it's not easy. Like, what do you tell yourself when you?
No, because I want to add that actually what you all see, maybe you may think that is my success, but actually it's not. I think it's actually a teamwork. Without all the committee, without all the staff, passionate staff, without all the volunteers and all the supporters, I don't think we can achieve this in Penang. So it's actually I always believe it's a teamwork. It's a kind of teamwork. And there are people who actually thank me, but I always tell them it's actually teamwork. Without them, actually we cannot do all this also. It's actually a community project, and it's a community teamwork that will benefit the community. So it's actually not my effort alone. I'm just happen to be the face, but actually there are a lot of people. I'm very thankful behind the scene that is actually doing a lot that other people don't really see it. So I'm really thankful to all these people.
That's amazing. Like this is it's going to be a very helpful or useful episode for a lot of people who do not know what IAPWA Penang is doing, and also for people who are already supporting IAPWA Penang. Thank you so much for doing whatever that you're doing now to help IAPWA Penang, and also the community, the dog lovers in Penang, to help lessen the strays. I mean, I honestly can feel that when I'm driving on the road, I don't usually see too many strays, like especially injured ones, because they are usually very well fed, as what you said. And I think it's something that we are progressing as in the island as well, working with the Penang Council. So I think if there's nothing else to add, Sanz.
That's actually one comment that asks about how can they pay every month. So I think if in the near future that we have able to do a digital payment for IAPWA, then we can do like a recurring payment. So you can do like a recurring donation every month to IAPWA. Yeah, so that's about it.
I think I did see an initiative by IAPWA Penang to have RM5 donated every month. Is that something? Is that something that's going on? Yeah. Can you tell us more about that? So maybe our listeners could do that to help your cause.
Yeah. So actually, this idea came when we see that we had that time about close to 6,000 Facebook followers, and we were saying that actually we need roughly about 20 to 30,000 a month about that. So I was saying that if we have 6,000 followers, each one just give us 5 ringgit, that is 30,000. that
Yeah.
we can actually sustain the project, then and 5 ringgit, it doesn't tax people, sometimes 5 ringgit you can't even buy a bowl of a meal, you see. So if everybody can share out this and just give us 5 ringgit a month, then we don't have to worry about not being able to sustain this project. So that's why the idea came to just 5 ringgit a month. We are not greedy. I'm not asking like 500 or 50, because we know during this time a lot of people are also having difficulties. So, but if we can share out the burden, then it will be very helpful.
For sure. I think
That's
Yeah.
true.
I think I'm going to do that right away after this.
Yes.
Thank you.
And for
Yeah.
everyone listening, if you can do that, maybe later we could find a link to put it on the comment section so everyone can see. Yeah.
Yes.
So without, I think we are almost. Ms Choong, is there any questions you want to say or anything you want to say to the public or the listeners here?
So I'd like to like I said just now, I would like to really thank everyone for being supportive. Without every single supporter, adopters, volunteers, donors, and then we cannot achieve the results today. And even the council has been very cooperative, and in fact, they actually has like joint training with us. They are very accepting of our way of catching, humane catching. Actually, we had international dog expert. They came and trained our team and the council to actually basically learn how to catch humanely. We also are trained on the dog body language and all this to minimize stress to the dogs and also to minimize risk to our catcher and the council team. And they have been very cooperative and implement our humane way of catching and humane way of transporting, where they use the airline approved dog carrier and then send back to their dog pound. They actually have been very cooperative, and when any dogs that they caught that need medical attention or need immediate medical help, they will inform us. And we have turned the whole stray management in Penang into a very, very humane way, very humane way, and also must thank the council for being so progressive and accepting of this. In fact, last year one YB from another state came and they visited the dog pound, and actually he said this doesn't look like a dog pound. It looks like more like a 5-star boarding hotel for the dog. Yeah. So, but all this is not possible if there's no cooperation from the council and there's no support from the public. So I'd like to thank the council and the public for being so supportive of our effort. Like I said, it's a community project for the benefit of everyone.
Okay. So again, if you are listening, do know what to do. You know what to do, how to support IAPWA Penang. So without, how long is this live stream? An hour and a plus, I think. Anything else to add? All good. Before we end, I really have to applause to whatever IAPWA is doing. I'm just going to do a virtual applause, and I hope everyone is watching. You can leave a comment for applause there, there. So if you do like, thank you so much. Before we end, thank you so much, Ms Choong, for sparing your time to share all this very informative, insightful things that you have been doing, with IAPWA Penang and with the Penang Council and whatever that you're doing with the adopters. Me, myself, I know that you can remember me. I was like, how come you can remember me when I was just talking to you via, Messenger? Then it's not an easy thing to go and remember all the adopters, you think sometimes I can't remember how my friend looks like, and you have to remember strangers. It's something that is out of passion,
Thank you so much, Ms Choong, and thank you to everyone who is involved in IAPWA and whoever is the volunteer and whoever involved in doing all these TNR projects and so on. You guys are really the hero of the country or even the world. Like 1,600 dogs, stray dogs saved is really a tremendous amount.
Okay, so I would like to thank Ms Choong, and I'm going to do ending for our episode today. So if you like this episode and if you want to see more of this kind of episode, do follow our page at Jumix, or you can go to our social media. You can just search for @aliasjumix.com.my, and you can see us anywhere on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere at all. We believe in going everywhere So, Sanz, I think we're going to sign out right now. Is that good? All good?
Yes, all good right now. Thank you so much, Ms Choong, for your time
All right.
tonight. Thanks for
Thank
sharing.
you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night. So how was, did you learn anything from this episode?
So I hope you
Sam?
guys learn a lot of things, and of course, I heard a lot of things. Very touching story from Ms Choong, and amazing knowledge and information sharing from her. So if you guys would like to somehow contribute, or you have any questions you want to ask IAPWA, please go ahead to their Facebook page, and they will be able to reply to you. And if you are interested, maybe if you're an NGO, or even if you're a private business and you want to utilize the online platform or the internet platform to help your business to grow or something, please get in touch with us. We will be able to help you with that. Right. So
And even if you want to be a guest on our next live stream, do message us and we can work things out.
Yep. So I think that's it for tonight. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and for your effort towards IAPWA Penang. On no matter if you're a dog lover, thank you for listening. So this is the end of our first live stream.
All right.
I think we'll be having a live stream very soon, so do remember to follow our page.
Yep. So Sanz signing out. Bye bye.
Anna dropping her mic. Bye.